Hey, this is Prak with iRepairMD, and today we will be repairing a Motorola Droid. This is the newest version of it. As you can see, the screen has completely cracked. You got these pressure marks in the bottom, so this screen is completely not usable. So what you're gonna need for this repair is, of course, you can get the you're gonna need a whole new screen. This is the LCD and the frame built in. This is a something you can purchase online for about, I believe, around 60 to 70 bucks. And to repair it, you're gonna need a Penelope screw, a T3. This T3 torque screw is all you need. And tools that you will need would be the tweezer, and also the blue pry tool. So these are the three tools you need for this repair. And of course, you'll need the LCD. As you can see, this screen does work, but however, we can't rebuild this screen. So we can go ahead and power it down. First thing we need to do with all device is make sure that we power it down completely. Now that we power down, waiting for it to shut down. Okay. And so once this is completely shut down, what we need to do is to open the back, okay? And these are torque screws. There's a little lid in the bottom right here. Just take the pry tool, like I have here. Okay, and now you lift it up. Now this comes off fairly easy. And then the T3, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 T3 screw, okay? So that's what I need to do, is just use the T screw to remove it. These torque screws are all the same size, so there's no need to remember where they go. They're all the same, and this is just to fasten the bezel. So what we're going to do is take off the bezel and also the bezel, and then the lid. Okay, and use the tweezer here to remove the remaining torque screw. We're going to work our way around counterclockwise, or clockwise, I mean. Okay. This is where the buzzer is located. That's why some areas will be highly magnetic, some are not. Okay. Work yourself on the top here. And again, if you're not able to do this repair, you can ship it to us, and the link to our website's below. It takes about a week to turn around, and the price is also according to the parts that's needed. This is an unusual phone. I mean, what I typically see mostly are iPhones and Galaxies, some LGs, and once in a while I get these Motorola. And these phones, it's actually well built. The quality of it is up there with the iPhone and the Motorola. I mean, the Samsung. It's just Motorola was a little late into the whole smartphone fray, so that's why they didn't do so well. But this is a really good phone to use. I mean, this Droid right here, this is the 2016 iteration, and it's real responsive. The build quality is excellent. Alright, so we have about 3 more screws left. Okay. Using these, my T3 screws here is magnetically charged, and this is a tool set. Let me show you my tool set. So this is a little piece that I get. Okay, you can order this from my website also. I have it for sale at about 30 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. And it comes with all the majority of the screws that you need, the drivers you need to fix the particular smartphone. Right, there's 2 more right here, 1 in the bottom, actually 2 in the bottom, 1 here. This is next to the charging port, and there's one last one right here. Let's go ahead and take that off. And now, once you have this off, it's a little tricky. All right. So now we just lift the bezel and the back plate. Okay. So it just peels right off once you do it. Comes off fairly easy. Okay. And however, when it does come off, you have the volume rocker. The volume rocker and the power switch will also come too. And then just open it carefully. Right here you have the SIM. Let's go ahead and pull the SIM tray out. Put the SIM tray over here. And now you can pull everything out. Okay. So this is the volume rocker here. Okay, and that, I'm sorry, rests down here. That's the volume rocker, and this is the power switch. Okay, make sure you put this in when you put the phone back. From this point, we don't need it. All right, so now what we need is the pry tool. With the pry tool, we're gonna work. There's some slight adhesive here, and so what we're gonna do is work the adhesive off. Okay, and then let's go ahead and pull the battery off. There's a slight adhesive holding the battery in also. Let's go ahead, pick the battery off. And this is the battery right here. Let's go ahead and disengage the tab. All right, so this is one battery tab right here. Let's go ahead and disengage the battery. Okay, and also disconnect this. So now let's put the battery in a different place. Now what you have to work with is the logic boards. Okay, this is the connector for the LCD. Let's go ahead and lift that up using this pry tool. Go ahead and lift up now. Okay, so now you can go ahead and carefully with your tweezer pull the LCD digitizer connector off like that. And now these are all pretty much lifting together. You don't need to pull anything else out. So just concentrate on lifting the components here. We're going to transfer that once we lift it off. Okay, you have these volume buttons right here. Okay, so you can see the new connectors. The new LCD has the bracket, so we're just switching the assembly, the motherboard and all its component back to the new one, the new screen here. So let's go ahead and concentrate on lifting these up. And again, you want to be really careful that you don't break the connector or the board. It's slightly held together with some adhesive, and if you need to, use the hot glue gun to weaken up the adhesive so you can lift it up. So you don't want to use too much resistance. If you feel any kind of pressure or the adhesive being strong, just go ahead and use the heat gun, and then you can work yourself up to lift this, the rest of the component. Okay, Alright, so now you have this volume button right here. Let's go ahead and lift. We're gonna have to go ahead and separate the volume and power rocker off. These are the kept on tape. And then let's go ahead and lift this connector off right here. Now let's go ahead and pull it. Once we have that out, like that, the power and volume rocker switch, we're going to go ahead and lift the rest of the board up carefully. Alright, so now the main logic board is off, okay? Now, let's go ahead and transfer the components. Okay, and what you'll notice also, these are the insulating buttons. Insulating foil, and we want to go ahead and transfer these insulating foil to the new one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Transfer the insulation foil. Adding some heat in. Alright, so now we're going to take the insulating foil off the old one. Okay. And now I'm putting it onto the new one. Alright. Like so. Alright, now let's go ahead and transfer the top half right here to the new one. So that way the contacts are all protected. Okay. That's been lifted. We're going to lift this off and carefully peel. Then we're going to transfer that to this new one here. Alright. And now make sure all the components are transferred properly. This is the ear speaker right here. Okay, let's go ahead and pull the ear speaker out. Alright, this is, we're going to use adhesive also. Add some heat to here. Alright. Come fairly off, and now go ahead and transfer that exactly, precisely on here. So you see it matches this bracket right here. Okay, once we have that in, we will go ahead and transfer the volume button, and you definitely need this heat gun for that. Okay, now once that's lifted, we want to carefully pull out the volume button right here. Okay. So these are plates right here. So all you do is just lift these in a bracket. This bracket comes off fairly easy. Okay. These are the silver brackets. Alright, just carefully lift it. Okay, so now we got that. Let's go ahead and put these into its bracket, to its place. Alright. So now put the volume bracket into the volume place. The power to power. Alright. So now just go and fold it in. And then we have the these vibrating buttons are these neodymium magnets right here. These are high power magnets. We're going to transfer that also to the well here. Got the magnets off. We're going to transfer it to this. Alright, now the other magnet. Make sure the polarity is correct. And then we'll lift the other one off. Using my tweezer, I'm being careful. Also bringing adhesive with me. Go ahead and place it right here. Okay. And this is actually what the vibrating button is. Okay, so now see these gaskets right here on the side? Alright, we're going to go ahead and transfer that also. Alright, so we want to transfer everything possible from the old to the new. Alright, so this is adhesive. Add some more heat. Okay, and this is actually the gasket that insulate the speaker. Okay, so go ahead and transfer that over. All right, put it right here. I know it's a little tedious, but I definitely want to get it to the same quality as the original. So now that's your gasket right here. And then we have the microphone gasket right here. Go ahead and lift up the microphone gasket. Okay, put the microphone gasket into place here. Okay, now all the components are transferred, verifying everything is here in place, ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and put the logic board back in. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and connect the camera, the LCD, like so. And now we're going to push it to lock into place. Okay, so now see this Kapton tape? We're going to go ahead and shield the LCD cover. Not sure why it didn't from the original, but this should be shielding right here. Kapton, keep it in place. And then you have this right here. Okay, and this is the volume and the power button rocker. We're going to go ahead and insert it back into the connector here. Once it's inside, we're going to go ahead and lock it. And then we're going to use the Kapton tape that we took off earlier, put back on here. Okay. Whew. Where did it go? There you go. Now, let's go ahead and insulate it like that. And now this power rocker here, I'm gonna go ahead and add some more force to it so it rests in place like that. And now let's go ahead and rest the logic board in. Okay, and put it where the screw holes are. Buttons here. Alright, so now we have everything into place. We can go ahead and connect the battery back in. Okay, the battery connector. This is the wireless charging or the antenna receiver, and this is the power for the battery. Alright. Make sure it rests properly. Okay, and then the battery into place. Let's go ahead and power. Let's go ahead and put this in. Put the power into place. Right, and these things are awfully tiny, so we have to make sure that they're all facing the direction they should be. That's the power rocker, and then you got the volume rocker right here, which should be this way. Okay, let's go ahead and power it on real quick. From here, we should see phone power on, so that's good. Let's go ahead and put the plates back on. And when you put the plate back on, this is what you need to do. You need to make sure that these holes, the power and the volume, goes into here first, okay? So you want to slide it so you see the power and volume into place like that. And now once that is done and that works, you go ahead and replace the screws. Put all the torque screw back on. Oops, I lifted up again. Okay, let's go ahead. This is the tricky part. Okay, so we got the power rocker right here, going into the power rocker place, and we got the volume rocker, putting it in the volume rocker area. Let's go ahead and do that. Volume up and down. And now, like I said earlier, make sure this lines up. Okay. You want to line it up perfectly. And then you go ahead, put the plate on, back plate back into place here. Okay, now be very careful and trap this in. Let's go ahead and put the screws in. I'm gonna put the screw where the volume rocker and the power rocker is, so that way I don't lose my space. Let's fasten these things up. Okay. Now we'll just work around the corner Alright, I want to make sure everything else is snug. Okay, so now we're going to work on this corner here. Make sure that's done. Alright. Everything's in place now. Just replace all the screws back in. Alright, so this is a fairly easy repair. If you just purchase and follow these steps, there's no editing in here, so you're getting everything as I repair it. So in this, if I was to do this repair, it would take me about 30 to 40 minutes. I can probably work faster, but you really don't. This is a pretty expensive phone. You don't want to rush it. So now we're putting all the T3 screws back onto the bezel. Okay. All right. That's the magnet. Let's go ahead and try to work around the magnets. A pretty strong neodymium magnet, the one that we worked on earlier. Alright. Alright, so we got about 5 more screws. This is the charging port area. Okay, corner. Now 2 for the top. Okay. Fasten here. All right. So now let's go ahead and put the sim in back into place. Okay. Oops. Sim's in this way. Insert it. Now let's go ahead and check the camera to make sure the camera's working. Camera working. Yep, that's working. Now let's check the volume. Let's bring up the volume to make sure everything works. Let's go ahead and pull a video.
Look, we all know we should save and invest, but most of us don't. So to make it easier for you,
that is working.
We created Stash.
Alright, so now let's exit all this. So now that is done. So let's go ahead and put the back plate back on. Okay. This repair is pretty much done. We just need to do one more thing. Once this is all snapped back on, you notice the original has these metal bar. Let's go ahead and transfer the bar. So what we need to do is take the bar from the old one, add some heat here. Alright. Now we're gonna lift that bar up. Okay. We're gonna put that bar into the slot here. Make sure it's locking into place. Alright, that bar snaps on here. Now we got one more bar, the bottom half, so it's this one here. Alright, let's go ahead and lift that up. Okay. And now let's place that here. Make sure it's nice and. This is Prak with iRepairMD, and what you saw was a Motorola Droid screen replacement. Have a good day.